Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren, Claudia's here. And today I'm going to talk to you about what are some of the things that I'm doing right now in my transition between one job and another job, because I know what's going to happen. I have faith in myself. So that thing is setting up realistic goals for myself. And I tend to, when it comes to specific things, if I set a goal, like I want to save like $1,000, okay, I can do that. No problem. That is not a problem. When it comes to monetization, money, when it comes to money, I'm very good at creating space for that. Why, when it comes to money, camera fidgeting. Why, when it comes to money, I am very reliable and I take myself seriously. I don't know why. I just don't know. But for me, setting up realistic goals for myself when it comes to things that are not money related are often difficult for me. Not saying that I can't do it. I have done it in the past and I continue to do it on certain things, but there are some areas of my life that I honestly need to work on consistently and be accountable to myself. So, and I have to break down those goals into, so I set up a step-by-step process to kind of complete my goal. And my goal is I have to remove 25% of items in my home. 25%. I wanted to go drastic. I wanted to do 50%. But I'm like, girl, you're living in a dream. So I had to be realistic and I have to really think about what that means if I get rid of 50%. So I came up with 25. I think that's a reasonable thing to do in a home that is just me and my dog. So getting rid of 25%. And I am being specific. And I have set a deadline I have to get rid of 25% of the items in my home by the end of the year. Yes, by the end of this year, 2025. We only got 6 months left. So I have set that deadline. I was specific. I've set a deadline. And so these are the step-by-step, a realistic step-by-step goal to getting to the point where I feel uninhibited, not tied down by things in my home. Like as if in clutter. I don't think my home is overly cluttered, but someone who comes in might think, oh, it's not bad. That to me, not bad. That is enough. So we're going to work on that. Excuse me. So I defined my goal. Now let's break it down into smaller things. Break it down into smaller tasks, because I think that, and I have it all written out here because I want to, honestly, I don't want to, I have to, and that's some things, changing my language. I would like, I want, and those things, that gives you a choice. I have to. There is no choice in that. So I have to create smaller tasks out of my goal. And I have to create sub goals for myself. And this is all because I have been feeling lately that I am living at not my optimum level. And it would be easy if it was just me. I have a dog and I want him to have the best life he can. And I think if your caretaker is not at the best part of where she or he is, then it's going to be hard for your dog to have a really good life. If you live in squalor, your dog doesn't care as long as they're with you. But I don't want my dog to live in clutter or semi-clutter. I want him to have the best life possible. Because I'm a dog mommy and I'm out. That's my baby. So I've created the sub goals. And my sub goals is I have to identify the things in my life, in my immediate area, that I haven't touched in a year or 2 years. So put yellow or pink tabs or whatever. I think I'm going to buy some little dots and put those things on that item. If I haven't touched it in a year, that is part of the 25% that will be gone from out of my house. Sub goal 2. So there might be multiple sub goals, but let's go sub goal 2. I have to label those alternate things that have dual purposes. Like if I have a charger and then I have another charger and then I have another charger. 1 or 2 of these chargers got to go. Understand? So I'm going to have different labels for those as well. So I have set up my sub goals. So I'm going to write this out as well. And this is personal for me. And I'm going to identify those milestones to keep me motivated. So I've set those sub goals. Yay, today's a milestone for me because I set those up for myself. So I'm going to celebrate today because I've set those milestones up for myself. So I'm going to whoop, whoop. I'm going to really just enjoy this moment of me being present in this moment and understanding that these are things that I need to accomplish. I have to accomplish for myself. So I have to develop a plan, a detailed plan on how to get these things accomplished. So I have to either create a planner or journal or any sort of using a digital tool or anything like that. So I have previously worked with like a Asana tool. I've also worked with, I know this is the one tool that a lot of people, Notion. I've worked with lots of different tools. So I have to decide on which tool I think is the best for me. So I'm going to prioritize those tasks. I'm going to identify like what steps come first and what areas I'm going to focus on. And I think I believe I have my first step notified is that sub goal of identifying those things that I don't touch within the year and set that up. And set up a schedule. If my thing is every morning I wake up and I do this specific task, I have to declare a specific time and date that I'm going to accomplish said item, said sub goal, said task, different things like that. And I'm going to identify those potential, just getting pings every minute. I have to identify potential obstacles like unsaid emergencies, things that I often prevent me from moving forward is I've lost my motivation. I have lost the will, the motivation to get things accomplished. I think that the task is so great. I have unexpected events, my lack of time. I have a lot of time, but I also don't have a lot of time. So I have to really understand what are some of those blockers for myself. And then I have to have a plan on how I have those solutions that that deal with the blockers. Like there's Mel Robbins, like the 5 4 3 2 1 plan. Like you give yourself 5 seconds and then you just get up and you do, right? So I have to have solutions to those things, those days when I just don't feel motivated and I don't feel as if I have the capacity to get a certain thing done. I can set up tasks that are 10 minutes long. If one day I have a 10-minute task, I'm successful in that day. It's because I've completed that 10-minute task. Or I have a task that I need to get this set task, this set goal done, and it's a lot of different things. I can create 10-minute or 15-minute spurts, and I have to take action. And that means I started small and I have to be consistent. So I don't want to overwhelm myself because I can get overwhelmed pretty easily. But I think if you set up those times, set up realistic and break it down into small chunks, I think it's attainable and it's doable. I also have I have to be consistent. And I have to monitor my progress. I have to see what all I've accomplished. And I think having some sort of system set up, whether it's Asana or a Notion page, or just keeping a written diary or whatever, or some kind of weekly progress report on the results, like what has been the progress I have made. And this is all something for me to do because I tend to procrastinate. And that really is putting barriers in front of myself from being successful. So, and I have to reflect regularly on how this is benefiting my time and my life and how this is benefiting my space. So I have to shift if this is not working and try something else. I'm not going to say, oh, okay, well, this didn't work. I have to be able to be very agile. And that's what we do in tech spaces. We have to be very agile. You have to think in creative ways in which to get something accomplished. Is you just don't stick to one way and you keep at it and you keep at it. No, you have to be very agile. You have to think of all different ways in which to come about the problem. So there's that. And then you also I want to be accountable, and I have to have a person that I can go to and say, hey, can you help me? Because I need to be accountable. I need to find that person who will be on me, and saying, Lauren, did you get this accomplished? And I have to find that person who is willing to be that accountability partner for myself. I think I have the person in mind. So I have to either have a partner who addresses and calls out those things for me, who says, Lauren, you asked me to do this, and so I'm doing this on your behalf. And then also celebrate those things when I do accomplish it. Celebrate, when somebody calls and they say, did you do this? And I'm like, done, done. What now? And then I have to be able to adjust and persist. Adjust and like be flexible and be able to modify, like that, being agile, be able to modify and do what's necessary in order to be successful, and learn from like those setbacks, because you're bound to have setbacks. I'm bound to feel those setbacks from, when I'm trying to accomplish something and it just doesn't work, and I have to be agile and have to think of other ways in which to get it done. And, and once everything is complete and I've achieved my goal, I have to be able to evaluate my process, because this isn't just something that I want to just do this one time and everything's going to be hunky-dory. No, when you're accomplishing a goal and you're reflecting on the goal, you always have to reflect on, okay, what worked and what didn't work. It's like it's like you're taking a 360 about yourself, about like evaluate your process, and kind of improve anything that you've seen that you've struggled with, And that could be a goal, a new goal. You know, you set a new goal in trying to deal with those barriers or those blockers that you continuously put in front of yourself. Start counseling, start, you know, going to therapy, or talk to someone about, you consistently put those barriers in front of your life. Like, why? So you can get into those issues of why. So I think therapy is always like a good, useful tool for it. Is just to help yourself. It's nobody else. It's for nobody's benefit. It's to completely decide on what is working for you and what's not working for you. And that's really it. I think setting a new goal after you've accomplished your goal. So, you know, I have 6 months to work on this process, and I'm really excited about the potential and the opportunity, you know, to work on these things. That at 25, I have to get rid of 25% of the items in my home that, one, are not serving me, that are not serving Claude, and it's just causing lots of, I think there's blockers. There are blockers from, they're not blocking my prosperity, they're not blocking anything like that. But I do believe they're blockers from me feeling as if, you know, oh, everything's going to be hunky-dory. No, that's not it. It's just, I just need the clarity. I need the space. And so, you know, that's what we're going to be doing for the next 6 months. We're going to work on that topic. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, my first goal is I've really accomplished is that I'm going to celebrate this win, is that I have set my realistic goal, and I'm going to write it all out, and I have a plan in place to address my goals. I have tasks that I'm going to accomplish to crush my goal. So I hope, you know, this is a quick video, because I think I promised you last video, if you read the titles of each of my videos, I do write something in there, is that I write on things that the video is about. And I think the last one I wrote is that I'm going to talk about goal setting. And another goal that I have is I have to set aside time in the morning to practice my meditation and my yoga. I do it sporadically, and I have to be very consistent, because when I practice yoga and meditation in the morning, my day is so beautiful. My day and my essence is so, it's so peaceful, and I feel so good, and I can accomplish a lot in the day. So I have another subtask, and that's a completely personal one. This is more of, you know, for Claude and I in our space. But this one is completely personal in that I have a goal, is I have to practice, even if it's 10 minutes in the morning, stretching and moving my body and meditating to set the day for my daily practice. I did it this morning, and I feel really good. And I have to keep doing that. I have to be consistent. So there's that. And I'm filming on my camera because my camera was not charging. Can you believe that? It's not going to damage my day. I have to send it in to get repaired, which I think there's something's very minute. We're gonna you know, think about very minute. And I will see you next time. I know my videos are getting later in the week, and I have to work on that as well. So thank you so much for sticking with me. And if you, you know, I want to thank all my regular viewers of my channel. I know I haven't done really a lot of exciting things, but I'm just showing you real life. I'm showing you what it means to be a woman living in San Francisco with her dog. And if you're unemployed, you really have to be very wisely of how you spend your money. And every single time I walk out this house to go do something, I'm spending money. And it's not just like, you know, I mean, I have the basics like rent and my internet. And, you know, those things cost money. So our plan is to, we're in the transition because we will have another job fairly soon. And I have a plan. I have a plan. Oh my God, my singing. Why do I do that? You guys got to call me on that. Stop singing. All right. Well, hopefully if you share this with your friends who are in transition modes as well, it's always nice to hear the stories, how people are getting through a transition or working through a really hard time, because it lets you know that you're not alone. We're all going through some sort of uphill battle, or you're swimming through like really murky waters. But there are other people who are also going through those things, and they're right there with you. So, sleepy boy, Claude over here, we thank you for your time, and don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend who needs that encouragement, because I'm right there with you. Needs that encouragement, and I'll see you guys later. I'll see you later. All right, bye.